We will be doing the same thing that we did in sitting. We will be doing that in walking practice. And for walking practice, there need to be followed rules. So there is a difference between walking and walking meditation. In walking, there is no rule. You just walk wherever you want. In walking meditation, there are rules. So this way you distinguish whether you are now walking wherever you want or whether you are meditating. So walking practice, just like the sitting one, starts with determination. So we determine the three things: the time, the practice, and the posture. So the determination can be, for example, from now on for 30 minutes, I will be walking and meditating on muscles. So from now on for 30 minutes, I will be walking and meditating on muscles. From now on for 30 minutes, I will be walking and meditating on muscles. As you can see, I'm standing with hands connected at the waist. But you can connect the hands like this. Please do not connect them like this. This is not comfortable. They need to be connected like this. You are touching the back part of the hand. You can also fold your hands at the chest, and you can also connect them at the back like this. So when we have assumed our posture and we have our hands nicely connected, we need to be careful that we have side cast down, so we see the floor in front of us. We don't look here like this. We don't look over there. We always know the floor. Okay, this is very important. So we keep the side cast down, and after determination, we can start. And this time, see if you can start from the toes rather than from the top of the head. Both of them work very well, but I think some of you might be experienced meditators, so it will be better for you if you start from the toes. If your mind gets attached to a place in the body because of a previous practice, then you can take it as your starting place. For example, in sitting, if your mind gets always attached to the nostrils, then you can start your relaxation rounds from the nostrils, not from the top of the head. It's the same thing, but you just start from the nostrils. So you relax your nostrils, your nose, lips, chin, cheeks, ears, and so on, gradually to the tips of the toes, then the top of the head, forehead, eyes, and that's where your round finishes. Your next round starts from the nostrils. And like this, you can do round after round. This is perfectly fine. If you observe the abdominal wall, the rising and falling of the abdominal wall in the Mahasi method, and your mind gets naturally attached to the abdominal wall, you can start your round from there. The trick here is that if you get disturbed, if you lose your track, if you lose the track as you are relaxing, you need to go to the beginning of your round. So let's say if you start at the abdominal wall, then you relax. Abdominal wall, back, and then buttocks, thighs, and then a thought arises. For example, what am I going to cook tomorrow? And then you think, hey, this is a thought. This is not my meditation practice, but you forgot where you stopped. If that happens, you go back to your abdominal wall and you continue from the abdominal wall. You have another thought, no problem, you go back to your abdominal wall. In the beginning, you may happen to go as far as are the thighs or the knees, not further, because you always get a thought or you get disturbed by something and you need to get to the beginning. This is absolutely okay. Gradually your mind will calm down and clear up, so you can then do 10 rounds, 20 rounds, 1,000 rounds without any disturbance at all. So this needs time, okay? And in walking is the same thing, right? As you are walking, we will start from the toes, from bottom to top, and if we get interrupted by something and we lose the track, so if you still know where you finished and you still have a thought, you can continue. You go back only when you totally lose the track, when you have no idea where you're going. Okay? If you are still clear where you are, then you can continue. Okay? But then, of course, you can decide to be stricter. Okay? This depends on you. If you think, hey, I can do it now in the course level, so let me do it with the more difficult level. So any thought at all, if any thought arises, I will go back to the beginning of the round. So here the rounds start at the tips of the toes, but they do not continue with the top of the head. They just go in the reverse way. So it's the tips of the toes, then the soles, heels, ankles, calves, knees, and so on and so on, from bottom to top. Okay, so we made the decision from now on for 30 minutes. I will be walking and meditating on muscles, and we can start. So the tips of the toes, soles, heels, calves, knees. So as you can see, I'm not walking too fast, I'm not walking too slow, I'm walking in a natural pace. What is natural pace? Natural pace is the same pace in which you would go, in the normal case, to the toilet. So when you go to toilet, can you imagine that you would go to toilet like this? I think you would not come on time. So we go in the same pace as we would go to the toilet in a natural, peaceful manner. So not too fast, not too slow. And when we stop, there is an important moment when we stop. And we stop for a few seconds, let's say 3 to 5 seconds, not too long, not too short, and we check whether we are mindful now. We don't care whether we are mindful during the path, we care whether we are mindful now. So we can ask ourselves, am I mindful? Am I not mindful? So if we are mindful, it's nice, that's great, we continue that. If we are not mindful, it's nice as well, because we now know that we are not mindful, so we can take that mindfulness. Alright, so in any way we are happy, and we continue to be further mindful. We turn and we continue. Thighs, buttocks, back, abdomen, chest. Am I mindful? Am I not mindful? Tips of fingers, palms, the back part of the hands. Am I mindful? Am I not mindful? Wrists, forearms, elbows, arms. Am I mindful? Am I not mindful? Shoulders, neck, back of the head, chin. Am I mindful? Am I not mindful? Ears, lips, nose, cheeks. Am I mindful? Am I not mindful? Eyes, forehead, top of the head, and very much all of the body. Am I mindful? Am I not mindful? And now I can start again from the tips of the toes, soles, heels, ankles. Am I mindful? Am I not mindful? and so on and so on until the end of the meditation time. So here we again concentrate on the muscles. We understand that all muscles are same, and we gradually develop peace. All right, peace is the main thing that we want to develop, so that we can then move on to loving kindness practice. Those who already have peace, and it can be for anybody else who already had, because we don't have so many days here to go too deep, but those who already had peace in their meditation, they can update their practice into the concentration on peace practice. So every sitting, every walking starts with relaxation. There's no exception. Every sitting, every walking starts with relaxation. But after at least one relaxation, if you feel that you have peace, that you have so much of peace that it's 80 or more %, then you do not relax. You always need to relax full round. The round needs to be full, regardless whether it's a second round or third round or fifth round. The round needs to be full. Now, when you get at the end of your round, then if you have so much peace, you stop relaxing and you start to investigate the peaceful mind. So you are curious, you're enthusiastic about what is peace, what is that? How does it feel? Where is it? How intensive it is? How does it start? How does it change? Does it change? You know, you need to be enthusiastic. So if somebody told you, you need to write for me 100 pages book about your present experience of peace, you will be able to write it. And nothing will. You know, you need to investigate every detail of your peaceful experience, from outside, from inside. Now, it needs to be present though. We don't look at the past or future for this. So you are interested in the body from outside, inside. You are interested in the mind from inside. You are interested in the body. What kind of feelings are there happening in your body when you have peace? What is the mind exactly doing? Does it have any thought? Or does it have no thought? Is there any seeing or hearing happening? Is there any smell? What is peace? You know, if you had to describe peace to somebody who has neither body nor mind, how would you do that? You know? So you investigate your peace in all manners, for all details, but again, only for present moment, only what's happening now. And the advantage of this is that you will then be able to recreate your peace next time when you don't have it. So you memorize your peace to such an extent that anytime you want peace, you just remember this very moment and you get that same peace through all those details that you have learned. If you meditate on peace every day, then of course memorizing is easier, because then you remember the last moment you had peace, not the last moment on that day, in that day, not another day. But still, every time you investigate your peace, you investigate it as if you had to remember it for next 70 years. If you didn't have that peace for 70 years and nobody told you anything about peace, you never practiced peace, and then after 70 years somebody came and said, did you ever experience peace? Then you need to be able to explain it in all details. So much, so well you need to remember it. So I like to say that when you experience peace in the meditation retreat, then if you happen to meet me again after 50 years, then let's say, I certainly will not, but if I ask you, do you remember your peace that you attained 50 years ago during my meditation retreat, you need to say, yes, I do, and be ready to explain it in all detail. So well you need to remember it. Your peace is your treasure. You can then use it anytime throughout any meditation practice, anywhere. Because peace is the basis. Without peace, how do you want to have the remaining factors of enlightenment or the remaining factors of absorption? Okay? So peace is very important, and this is what you are going to develop. We will then use it for loving kindness, because peace is that what you share during loving kindness. So from now on until tomorrow, you will be practicing only this. You will be practicing relaxation, and when you get peace, you observe peace. If you lose peace during that one sitting, then you go back to relaxation and recreate your peace through relaxation. Is there any question?
If you're thinking while you're going down and you're thinking something, you just go back to the top again.
Well, if
you're
you
distracted by noise and something.
Yes, so if you are thinking about something or if you're distracted, then you need to notice it. First you need to know it. If you don't know it, then there is nothing to do. You know? If you do, if you know it, then you need to remember what your determination in the beginning of the sitting or walking. Why are you here? Why are you walking here? To meditate on muscles.
So I'm sure most of us were meditated in the past would start with the anapana and just to concentrate. We never go into individual muscle. Mm-hmm. So sometimes it's hard to imagine the muscle on the skull and you don't feel any muscle. When you sit, you feel it. Most of the time your sensations are from the rest of the body rather than the ears or nose or head. So in that case, it's hard to look at it, what would be the muscles in the head, relaxing that time.
Yeah, you gradually improve as the time goes. So whatever you feel there, whatever you not feel there, it's no problem. You need to be there. So let's say that an ant would come and bite you in your little toe. Will it be difficult to know about your little toe? No, it will not be difficult, right? You immediately know. Let's say that a mosquito comes and bites you at the tip of the nose. Will it be difficult to know about the tip of the nose? No. No, you see, immediately you know. You don't know about it when nothing bites because your mind is not enough subtle. Your concentration, your ability to know is not enough subtle. You would know otherwise. If something helps you, you know, if something really like coarsely disturbs the mind. But you can know it, you know. So the ant or the mosquito can clearly prove you that you can know of that part of the body, you know. You do not need to know the muscle itself. You need to be there at the part of the body. If you're on the skin, that's fine. You know that there is a muscle. Gradually, as you meditate on muscles, you will then be able to expand this to all of the body. Muscles is just the beginning. There are 32 parts of the body. Muscles is one.
Feeling is feeling is the paramathic. So when you are concentrating your scalp, your nose, you're just feeling the feeling or the sight, vinya and paramat, vinya and paramat. But when you feel it as a sensation or it's your area, the object of the body, muscle,
in
sensation.
This case, you are observing the body, not the mind. So there are 4 parama: rupa, citta, cetasika, nibbana. And rupa is not citta, rupa is not cetasika. It is something else. Be very careful. This is so important. Parama is 4. not one. Now you are talking about two, your chitta cetasika. No, we are not observing chitta cetasika, we are observing rupa. That's right. We are now observing the body, not the mind.
No, right. So you don't feel the pain or anything.
Because that is mind. We are now observing the body.
The body. So body as a movement, or just it's there and you just feeling contracting or relaxing?
As the element of earth. As you could have noticed, I was talking about weight.
Right.
That it is heavy.
Heavy, yeah.
And that is the element of earth.
Earth, yes.
And that is Parama.
Parama. Yeah, body.
So you are observing the muscles as the earth element. And you gradually understand them as the earth element. You understand that all of the muscles are same because they are all predominantly the earth element. So you are observing Parama. But this is not neither Parama nor Penya. Nothing of this is the purpose of this practice. There's only one practice, one main purpose, and that's the peace. Because then you will use the peace for loving kindness practice. In loving kindness practice, you will create equanimity to all living beings. When you have equanimity to all living beings, when you do not distinguish my friend or my enemy, when you love everybody, including yourself, the same, then it makes sense to do Vipassana practice. Because many people do Vipassana practice for themselves, they think, yes, this body is impermanent, it's so much pain, this mind is so much impermanent, but my son and daughter, they are permanent. They are permanent, they are self. You know? I'm impermanent, yes, but my son and daughter, they are permanent. You know? That's what many parents come to conclude. So it's easy, especially for parents, or if somebody in their family, about their mother, father, they can think, yes, I'm impermanent, but my mother, she is permanent. You know? So we first create the understanding that all beings are same. And then whatever we understand about the body or mind, it will be for all. So it has, full impact.
So ordinarily, we start with the breathing in and out. Those are impermanent. So trying to concentrate and to get the concentration with that technique most of the time. We never start with the muscle relaxing then.
Yeah, but actually observing the breath and relaxing muscles is the same kind of practice. It's not the same practice, but it's the same kind of practice. In Pali, it's known as Kayanupassana. You're observing the body. When you're observing the breath, you are not supposed to observe your mind in the beginning. You can use breath for observing mind, but that's an advanced stage. As the Buddha said in the Anapanasati Sutta. But in the beginning, we are observing the body. When you're observing the breath, you're observing death. Breath is life, but anytime it can stop, and that's when you die. So you are observing breath as the base for life. So you observe breath, you understand that all of this body, all of life is dependent on breath. And through understanding how breath is dangerous, how life is dangerous, if the practice is done correctly, there should be detachment from the breath and the body. So if there is the detachment from the breath and the body, then this is correct. And for muscles, it's the same thing. If you understand how the muscles are impermanent, if you understand how the muscles are not worthy of attachment, then you can gradually understand that the muscles cover bones. You can understand that the muscles cover bones and that the muscles are covered by fat and skin. You can understand that all the other parts of the body, just like the muscles, are also repulsive, they are also impermanent, unsatisfactory. And that's where you can detach from the body. So it's the same kind of practice, the outcome should be the same. So from the breath, you detach from the body. Thanks to the breath, you detach from the body. Thanks to the muscles, you detach from the body. But I will not teach breath because I do not have that kind of experience with breath as I have with muscles. So I'm teaching you that would help me most.
If you don't mind, I would like to ask you one question from Ashin Sarana. They have a similar practice, but on the skin sensation from head to toe. Is it similar?
It's totally different. This is not derived from Goenka at all. Goenka, what he is teaching is different because he's teaching observing the mind. So we are observing the mind in the body, but it's still the mind. You know, it's still the sensation. The body by itself doesn't feel anything. The body doesn't feel anything. You know, like you can think, hey, does the bone know that it's covered by muscle? Does it know, hey, I'm now covered by muscle? It doesn't. Does the muscle know, now I am covering bone? No, the muscle doesn't know it. Does the muscle know that it's covered by skin? No, it doesn't know it. No. Does the skin know that it's covering the muscles and the bones? No, it doesn't know. You see, the body doesn't know anything. It doesn't feel anything. Feeling is mind, body is the matter. So we distinguish the body and the mind. And what Goenka teaches is feeling. He's teaching on the mind. This is very specifically for matter. Goenka does teach matter, observing the body, when he teaches breath. So he starts with breath to get concentration and to understand the body. I start with muscles to understand the body and to get concentration, to get peace. Then you use that peace for loving kindness, where you get equanimity to all living beings, so that any insight in vipassana and insight will be useful for all. It will have no hindrance, no limit. And then when you understand anything in insight, whether for the body or for the mind, it will be full scale. So then if you understand that the body is repulsive, you will understand that all beings' bodies are repulsive. When you understand that the mind is impermanent, you understand that all beings' minds are impermanent. That has so powerful effect in comparison to somebody who did not do the loving kindness practice.
So in other words, there is Satan Patana, and this one is more kind.
Yeah, this one is of course Kayanapasana. Yeah, this one is Kayanapasana, and it also, and as part of the Kayanapasana, you can, in the course level, you are observing the 32 parts of the body. Asubha, Atubha Bhavana. On a deeper level, now with the concentration on heaviness, on the weight, it becomes Takamatan. So you are observing the Patavita, you are observing the earth element. So whichever of them comes first for you to realize, it's fine. You need to understand that all muscles are same. But your practice is updated not according to your insight, but according to your peace. Because there is still loving kindness to follow.